Joining us now is Okpe. The story is trending around the world. Hello, G.
How are you so happy this morning?
I'm just happy to see you.
Mondays are always special, right?
Yes, yes.
You guys had an amazing interview with Joy Nunia.
Thank you.
Amazing.
Really
we have to talk about the reactions.
Dr. wore this tie just for you, so...
Oh, I'm not feeling it. I'm sorry.
Oh, dear. That was
You know, I'm just joking. You know, I always like your red tie. Rufai, Rufai. Good morning. How are you?
You gave Dr. Abati Ella on national TV.
What is Ella?
International TV.
International TV. You gave Dr. Abati Ella. You know what they call Ella? What you call
I want him to wear his red tie every time. Okay. That's all it is.
Ojinika Peperisco. Ojinika Pepe.
Rotus has warned you. I'm tired. Good morning, Rufai. How are you?
Good morning, my dear. Great.
Perfect. Well, let's start. I did. Let's start today's What's Trending with your explosive interview and the reactions that have been happening. We begin What's Trending with reactions to the viral allegation levied against the Minister of Niger Delta Affairs, Godswill Akpabio, by one of our guests today, the former acting managing director, Interim Management Committee of the Niger Delta Development Commission, Joy Nunia, who has just accused the minister of sexual harassment. In a viral video that stirred up social media over the weekend, Ms. Nunia had, among other claims, alleged that Godswill Akpabio had instigated her suspension and further exposed several corruption allegations orchestrated by the minister in the Niger Delta Development Commission. Mr. Akpabio, in response to the allegations on our nightly news program, Newsnight, said Ms. Nunia had temper problems, which could be confirmed by 4 of her other ex-husbands. Let's take a listen to that video real quick.
He was not relieved of her appointment because of corruption. She wasn't relieved of her appointment because
why was she relieved?
Because of the reasons. She was relieved of her appointment because of insubordination. That's why I said she needs to calm down and then reassess herself. And then you also need to bring all the former husbands, at least bring 4 of them that she had married in the past, to this studio, so that you ask them questions one after the other, because it looks like a character problem.
Character program. Well, let's take some reactions. Tunde Arogumate wrote, "What has the number of Ms. Nunia's husbands got to do with the matter at hand?" Well, another user posted a video of Joy Nunia accusing the minister of bombing the pipelines in Niger Delta with the caption, "A former NDDC, Joy Nunia, has alleged that Akpabio went to bomb pipeline while we are struggling with economic recession. A servicing minister under Integrity Buhari bombed a pipeline. That's economic sabotage. Buhari's presidency is the worst ever." Let's take a look at that video.
Just to remove me, a 7 minister can go and bomb the pipelines in the Niger Delta. Somebody that has been a governor, he has been a senator and a minister. He went to bomb the pipeline.
Well, in response to that video, Socioeconomic Rights and Accountability Project wrote, breaking, "We urge President Buhari to ensure prompt, thorough and transparent investigation into the grave allegations of corruption against the Niger Delta Affairs Minister, Senator Akpabio, by ex-MD NDDC Joy Nunia. Probing the allegations will serve the public interest." Also, in response to Nunia's allegation of sexual harassment this morning, one user wrote, "Godswill Akpabio should resign as a minister for the allegation of sexual harassment." I know we discussed this whole thing with Ms. Nunia this morning, but I wanted to talk about the allegation of sexual harassment, which is going viral on our Rise Twitter handle right now. Everyone is talking about Godswill Akpabio resigning for sexual harassment.
I think Tundu, I think we'll move beyond this.
Yes.
We spent a considerable amount of time on the subject this morning. Now it's out there in the public domain for other stakeholders to deal with.
Still in Nigeria, reactions have trailed the footage from the wedding of Nigeria's Attorney General and Minister of Justice, Abubakar Malami's son, Abdulaziz Malami. Over the weekend, it appeared that officials that attended the wedding did not only breach the laid-down protocols of the Nigeria Center for Disease Control by not wearing face masks and observing social distancing, they also violated the stipulated number of persons approved to attend social gatherings. Some images also revealed that more than a few private jets touched down Kano over the weekend for the event, despite denials from the Minister of Justice. Well, let's take some reactions. Human rights activist Omoyele Sowore posted an alleged video from the wedding with the caption, "Abubakar Malami's son having a lavish wedding party in Kano." no social distancing, no face masks. Then they are spraying local and foreign currencies like they're going out of circulation. Yet the children of the poor are not going to write their WASC exams this year. Hashtag Revolution Now. Let's take a look at that video. Well, another user wrote, Magu is in detention for relooting the recovered loot. Malami is blowing dollars on his great son. The boy has no real job except being a minister's son in Nigeria. Nigeria remains the poverty capital of the world with a missing president or vice president. Wake up, Nigeria. All right, well, this is a very dicey story at this point. I'm not understanding what's going on with these officials. I mean, there are laid down protocols of physical distancing, and they allowed rules of the amount of people that are allowed to be in a particular place at a time is 20. I mean, I don't know if you saw the videos that were circulating on social media. There were a barrage, a lot of people at that event. I'm completely shocked.
This just makes a total mockery of the presidential task force and all their announcements. A senior official of the same government has organized this kind of an event for his child. I mean, it's just shockingly insensitive at this point. I was trying to have a conversation with somebody over the weekend, which was cut short, because he was trying to argue with me that COVID-19 is a hoax. I don't have the patience for that.
People are always saying that.
But it's things like this. He believes that it cannot possibly be real when you see things like this. This is completely wrong. I mean, I can't believe it.
Well, two quick comments, or let's say three. One, the first is that you will realize that Abubakar Malami, the Attorney General of the Federation and Minister of Justice, has had a major role to play in the Ibrahim Magu saga because he reportedly petitioned the president to say that, look, the now suspended chairman of the EFCC has a case to answer. And in the last few days, we've seen an attempt to also focus on Abubakar Malami himself. And his supporters are saying that this is a case of the Magu group fighting back and showing that Malami is not the saint that he claims to be. This story that you have brought is probably part of a series of stories in that regard. We've had reports about his son's wedding. We have had reports about certain approvals for relating to some vessels. We have also had a report indicating that, in fact, he wrote the letter of invitation for the wedding on the official letterhead of the Office of the Attorney General. Now, if that is the case, now that looked a bit untidy because it looked like, blurring the lines between official function and private issues. And then I hope that, the Attorney General of the Federation will take those allegations seriously, because those allegations have been in the public domain for more than 48 hours, and he has not responded. It's something that we need to shoot down, because it's possible that some of those documents are circulating on social media. Are they real? Are they fake? Are they genuine? I think he needs to address those issues. As for his son's wedding, well, I really don't know, because if people travel to Kano for a wedding, the lockdown on interstate travel has been, lifted, so people could travel and attend the wedding. And I don't think that anybody commits a crime by organizing a wedding for his child. During
COVID-19?
Well,
without a mask,
without social distancing? No, I was going to go there. The issue that you can raise is that, one, they didn't observe social distancing. They didn't observe physical distancing. They did not follow the protocol about the number of persons that should attend an event. I think it's 20%.
Apparently, they're saying that the Kanu rules, they were held by the Kanu rules, and then the lockdown has been lifted or has been relaxed. I don't know if it still has to do with the amount of people.
No, but considering the Attorney General of the Federation is the custodian of the law.
Yes, it's completely wrong.
If there is something called the Quarantine Act that is governing how we should all behave in the season of COVID-19, we should see the chief custodian of the law of the land showing example. However, from this video that I've seen, I think one major issue that you may want to draw attention to is Naira plunking. There is an act, is it the CBN Act or a special legislation which makes it a criminal offense to abuse the Naira. So the abuse of the Naira is also something that shouldn't have happened at an event sponsored and organized by the chief law officer of the Federation.
Very good point. What is your take, Rufai?
My take will be, number one, I'm sad. Secondly, I now see why some people make a strong case that why shouldn't churches open? Because when you can see a wedding ceremony, obviously social distancing was not observed. You could see people pulling out their face mask, not covering their nose. Is that social distance? Look at the distance. That one is even almost touching. I'm sure that place would have been a heartland for the spread of COVID if anybody had COVID there. So when you make these arguments in public, people that are custodians of the law too should help us balance out these things. What is the stipulated number of people to gather? Have we even, reviewed the laws on ceremonies and events? Because I hear for a burial is still pretty much 20 people you can have. But there, if you count, I'm sure you have over 20, 30, 40 people or more. I think something should be, I think the NDDC should come out and react to this video. If they don't react to it, then what the Presidential Task Force is doing will be a farce. I think they should react strongly to this. And I think people should be penalized for this. What's the difference between this and what Funke Akindele did? Well, she went to court for it. And we penalize other people. Why can't we penalize in this case?
The difference, Rufai, with Funke Akindele was at the time there was a lockdown in Lagos, and right now there's no lockdown in Kano.
Okay.
But appearances still count, and to whom much is given, much is expected.
And that's the painful
this is still not acceptable.
This is not acceptable, and we should frown at this. We should frown at the NDDC should come out and speak about this, because this is a public glare. This is not right.
All right. Very good point, guys. Let's take another story. A video of a businessman, Arthur Eze, being guarded by Nigerian security agents went viral on social media over the weekend. The businessman, who is touted to be the 8th richest man in Africa, appeared to have attended an event accompanied by several security agents. The video got many users on social media outraged, with many comparing the affluence displayed by the businessman versus the amount of poverty in Nigeria. Let's take a quick look at that video. The optics look really bad for him. But apparently it was a commissioning by the Inspector General. That's the event that they went to, of another zone or police station in Arthur's hometown in Anambra State. So I guess maybe most of those police vehicles were, for the Inspector General of Police or not. I'm not sure who those, but you saw there were also military personnel that were there. I mean, I don't understand it. But apparently the law is you can actually go into a police station and request for security, the amount of security that you can request for, depending on where you are going. But I mean, this looks like an event. I mean, like a commissioning of a police station. So I wonder why we need that amount of security for, to guard that location.
I mean, some people have a flair for the dramatic. I guess he wanted to make an entrance, so he turned up with like what looks like an invading army, a battalion. I think it's a little bit over the top, quite frankly, more than a little bit.
Well, people are saying, you know, the fact that they're using these resources, they're using these policemen instead of using them to guard or to safeguard our nation. I mean, that's what people are really upset about, that they're wasting.
They should be.
You know.
Well, why it may be legitimate to complain about extravagance, flamboyance, conspicuous consumption, which may be a technical word in this regard. I think we should also realize that, look, the law allows you to seek police protection. And there's also something, a special category in policing that is called VIP protection. Now, Chief Eze is an oil magnate, oil and gas magnate, and you quoted him, you said he's the 8th richest person in Africa. I don't know who determined that, whether it's Forbes or it's just his admirers.
Forbes' integrity has been shut down now with all of their calculations.
The matter is that, look, he could ask for police protection.
Yes.
And in a country where there is a lot of crime, where there is a lot of kidnapping, it may be a legitimate thing to do. But you then made a point about optics. So it looks like something over the top for a private individual to have such a deployment of security agents, both military and the police. And this has been a major issue in this country. We have a police strength of 350,000. The other day, they tried to recruit another, I think, 100,000, right? We don't know the outcome of that yet. And I think the police, they've just advertised again, trying to recruit constables. So we don't know the actual size of the police force beyond the 350,000 figure that we have been given. But the concern has been too many policemen are deployed to protect people who consider themselves important, you know, and their wives, such that we have reached a ridiculous level where you have police constables, police sergeants carrying bags for the wives of supposedly important people.
Plates.
And, you know, following them to supermarkets, carrying bags in local markets. And that is where, you know, you now invoke public anger. Because people say, look, in a country like this, you know, there should be no abuse of opportunity or privilege. Those are the legitimate questions that I think we can raise with regard to this flamboyance, extravagance, and abuse of privilege, if you like.
Yeah, I like that. Let's take our final story in Nigeria. A video of a school teacher appealing to the public on the challenges teachers are facing due to the COVID-19 pandemic went viral over the weekend. Let's take a look at this video before we come back for a discussion.
I want to say this without missing words that private school teachers are suffering. There are a lot of teachers on the streets right now that are having nothing to feed their families. Please, whoever is watching this and you have any teacher, any private school teacher in your area, please kindly help them. Help them. It is high time we stood up to help ourselves. Very, very important. Private school teachers are suffering. There are many teachers for the past 3 months that have not collected a dime. Please, let us help. I want to use this medium to beg all the proprietors and the proprietresses of private school owners to please, for God's sake, help your teachers. The best time you can help them is now. Thank you, and God bless you. I take you to the highest point of your endeavor in Jesus' name. Thank you very much.
This video brought me to tears over the weekend, really. But the good news is, you know, power of social media. Apparently, they've been donating to his cause, a teacher who's based in Abuja, and hopefully, you know, his particular situation has been sorted. But, you know, the question is, teachers, what are they going through at this point? How can we solve this problem for these teachers?
But that's the point he made. He didn't just talk about himself. He made an appeal for everybody to help teachers around them. And my heart bled for him because honestly, having no salary for 3
Yes.
months. How on earth is anybody supposed to manage in that kind of situation? And I'm glad that people did come to his aid, but like you're saying, it's a larger issue. Schools need to look into this.
Yes.
The government needs to look into this. Our teachers cannot be reduced to this at all.
Well, Rufai, you want to comment on this?
Yes, I want to comment on this. I'm quite very sad that our teachers are reduced to this. And when you look at what he's talked about in that video, it's been something I've thought about for a while now. Tundu, good point. You can't go without salaries for 3 months. But have you ever tried researching into what they pay private school teachers in this country? It's below minimum wage, worse than Miggle. I've seen people, primary school teachers, I kid you not, that earn less than 10,000 naira. I once gave a private school teacher 10,000 naira, a woman of 49 years old, 49 years of age. She told me that was the greatest gift she had received in her life, 10,000 naira. And that's to show the plight, a 49-year-old woman in this country. And she's been a teacher. So we should do something about this. The nation can't afford to fail them, please.
Well, the only thing to add to this is that this is the story of many Nigerians.
Yes.
Not just teachers, but all the persons who have been affected by COVID-19. And that's why government intervention is important. Thank you very much.
Thank you, guys.
Oji,
Thank you,
okay?
Thank you. See you tomorrow.
Thank you. We'll see you tomorrow.
Sure.